students for the session 8 of data mining. Now we will consider dissimilarity between the data objects. So when I say dissimilarity, here distance is the one of the dissimilarity measures which is having certain properties in it. So when I say distance, what is this distance? How am I going to find the distance here? Is when I say distance, we will be using this formula, that is distance between two attributes x and y is nothing but summation k equal to 1 to n absolute difference xk minus yk. It is actually minus. So this is xk minus yk power r whole power 1 by r. So here xk and yk are two attributes. R is the parameter which takes the value of 1, 2 and infinity. It takes three values, 1, 2 and infinity. So what is this one? What do you mean by r equal to 1? What do you mean by r equal to 2? And what do you mean by r equal to infinity? We'll see shortly. Now this distance, what we have considered this formula, it is called as Minkowski formula, Minkowski distance. It is called as Minkowski distance. So the distance measure what we are going to identify in case of dissimilarity is the Minkowski distance that we are going to consider. Clear? So now there are different variations of this Minkowski distance based on the value of r. Suppose if r is equals to 1, then the formula becomes like this. So that is not underscore there, it is minus. Correct yourself. So take this formula, this distance when r is equals to 1, this is called as Hamming or Manhattan distance. And when r is equals to 2, the formula changes like this, when in which case this formula is called as Euclidean distance. And when r is equals to infinity, the formula that we have is this. And how am I going to find this infinity measure here is, we are going to take the alternative form of this formula, that is k equal to 1 to n max of absolute difference between the two attributes present, in which case this is called as supremum distance. So Minkowski distance comes in three variations. One is Hamming or Manhattan distance, second one is Euclidean distance, and third one is supremum distance. Clear? So when r is equals to 1, it is called as Hamming or Manhattan distance. When r is equals to 2, we will consider it as Euclidean distance. And when r is equals to infinity, we consider it as supremum distance. Students also make note of this. Hamming distance or Manhattan distance is also sometimes referred to as L1, L subscript 1, L1. Euclidean distance is also referred to as L2, L subscript 2. And supremum distance is also referred to as L infinity. L infinity. L1 indicates Hamming or Manhattan distance. L2 indicates Euclidean distance, and L infinity indicates supremum distance. In exam, suppose they give a data set and ask you to find L1, it is nothing but Manhattan or Hamming distance. If they ask you to find L2, it is nothing but Euclidean distance. If they ask you to find L infinity, it is nothing but supremum distance. Is it clear? So now let us consider this table, and let us try to find the Hamming distance or Euclidean distance and a supremum distance for this data set given. Actually, this is the data set which if I represent it in the form of a graph, so this is how it is. So it is nothing but the x coordinate and the y coordinate values that they have given to us. Now we have to find and see, we have to find the proximity distance or proximity measure between each of these points. We have to find the proximity measures between each of these points. Fine. So when we try to find the distance, it is nothing but we are going to find the distance between each point, and we are going to tabulate it in the form of a table which is called as distance matrix, and your distance matrix will be something like this. So we will be finding a distance between P1, 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 P2, P1, P3, P1, P4. Similar likewise, between each of the points present, we are going to find the distances. So when I say distance, it can be L1, it can be L2, or it can be L infinity. Clear? So first, let us see how do we find the Hamming distance or Manhattan distance. So to find, I have considered the original data set here. So, and as we have seen, the formula to find Manhattan distance is this, where R value, the Minkowski variation of Minkowski's distance formula, wherein I have put value of R equal to 1. So if you can see here, k is equals to 1 to n. I have taken it as 2. Why I have taken it as 2? Because we are at a time we are going to consider 2 points. So, or you can consider there are 2 attributes present. Therefore, I'm going to consider here n value as 2, right? So, in this table where we will compute the distances and we are going to put in this particular table, right? So now, let us first consider distance between point P1, P1. So how do you find? So this is what we have to consider. P1 0 2 0 2. Now what is xk and what is yk here? Xk is nothing but P1 values and yk is nothing but P1. Here we have considered 2 attributes. The attributes, students, this you have to understand carefully. Here x coordinate and y coordinates are not your attributes. When I say attributes here, it is the points that you are going to consider will be the attributes. Here when I say xk, x1 and x2. So 0, x1 and 2 is x2. And for the other P1, 0 becomes y1 and 2 becomes y2. Clear? So now I have substituted in this particular formula. So first when k is equals to 1, which means x1 minus y1. In that case, x1 is 0, also y1 is 0. And then when k is equals to 2, I am having x2 is 2 and y2 is 2. So it becomes again 2 minus 2. So distance between P1 and P1 is nothing but 0. So that I'm going to tabulate here. Now I am going to find between P1 and P2. So in which case my table, the table that I'm going to consider will be like this. So P1 value is 0, 2 and P2 value is 2, 0. Here xk represents P1 and yk represents P2. So what will be the calculation now? So it will be 0 minus 2 plus 2 minus 0, which is equals to 4. So here I'm going to consider the absolute value. What is that absolute value? Whether you have negative or positive, ultimately you consider it as a positive value, correct? So distance between P1 and P2, Manhattan distance or Hamming distance between P1 and P2 is what? 4, correct? Now I'll consider distance between P1 and P3. So the table is xk value will be P1, which is 0, 2, yk value is P3, which is nothing but 3, 1. So what is the value? What is the value that you get? So it is 0 minus 3 plus 2 minus 1, which is equals to 4 again, right? So I'm going to tabulate it as 4. Similarly, find distance between P1 and P4. So P1 and P4 will be xk value will be 0, 2, yk value will be 5 and 1. So according to our computation, we will get 0 minus 5 plus 2 minus 1, which is equals to 6. So I'll tabulate 6 here. So similarly, I'm going to find distance between P2 and P1. So P2 and P1, P2 value becomes my xk and P1 value becomes my yk. So P2 is 2, 0, P1 is 0, 2. So here the value will be 2 minus 0 plus 0 minus 2, which is again equal to 4. Now next I will find value between P2 and P2. So in this case, xk is 2, 0, yk is also 2, 0. So the distance becomes 2 minus 2 plus 0 minus 0, which is equals to 0. Now I will find the distance between P2 and P3. So xk value becomes 2, 0, yk value becomes 3, 1. So when I find the Manhattan distance, it is 2 minus 3 plus 0 minus 1, which is equals to 2. So I'll tabulate it as. Next, I'll find distance between P2, P4. So for P2, P4, xk value becomes 2, 0, yk value becomes 5, 1. So now when I compute the Manhattan distance, it is 2 minus 5 plus 0 minus 1, which is equals to 4. So I'll tabulate it as 4. Next, now P2 is done. For P3, I will consider P3. P3 with P1 first. So the value xk value is 3, 1, yk value is 0, 2, right? So what is it? What it will be? 3 minus 0 plus 1 minus 2. So 3 minus 0 plus 1 minus 2 is equals to 4. So I'm going to tabulate it as 4. Next, I'm going to consider P3 with P2. When I take P3 with P2, so what we have, uh, xk value is 3, 1 and yk value is 2, 0. So 3 minus 2 plus 1 minus 0, which is equals to 2. I'll tabulate it as 2. Next, P3 with P4. So sorry, P3 with P3. So it is 3, 1. Xk value is 3, 1. Yk value is also 3, 1, which means 3 minus 3 plus 1 minus 1, which is equals to 0. I'll tabulate it as 0. Next, P3 with P4. When I consider P3 with P4, xk value is 3, 1 and yk value is 5, 1. So final result will be 3 minus 5 plus 1 minus 1, which is nothing but 2. So I'll tabulate it as 2. Similarly, now P3 row is done. For P4, I have to consider P4 with P1. Xk value is 5, 1, yk value is 0, 2. So the solution that I'm going to get is 5 minus 0 plus 1 minus 2, which is equals to 6. I'll tabulate 6. Then P4, I have to consider it with P2. So in which case I have xk as 5, 1 and yk as 2, 0, which means I will calculate 5 minus 2 plus 1 minus 0, which is nothing but 4. So I'll tabulate 4 here. Now I'll consider P4 with P3. So P4 with P3, xk value is 5, 1, yk value is 3, 1. So I'll going to consider 5 minus 3 plus 1 minus 1, which is nothing but 2. And then lastly, I have P4 with respect to P4. Here, xk value is 5, 1 and yk value is also 5, 1. So which means it is nothing but 5 minus 5 plus 1 minus 1, which is equals to 0. Okay, so I'll tabulate 0. So now we have found the Manhattan distance between each points or Hamming distance between each points. This table, what we have got here, this is the distance matrix that we call it as distance matrix. Students, hope you have understood this. So how to find it is very easy, Manhattan distance, right? So it is just nothing but the only thing that you have to keep in mind is taking xk and yk value. Don't get confused it with the x coordinate and y coordinate. Here xk and yk indicates x is an attribute and also y is attribute. When I say k, it ranges from 1 to 2 here because I am having only 2 data objects. So when I put it to this formula, my P1, P2, P3, P4, at a time I'm going to consider 2 points. So I will be having 2 attributes, and attribute values are nothing but x coordinate values and y coordinate values. Be careful. So in exam, if sometimes what you do is students make a mistake of taking it as this as the xk value and this as the yk value. No, it is not. We have to consider in this fashion. So please do remember that. That is why I have mentioned clearly here, xk is nothing but the point, first point, and yk is nothing but the second point. Be careful, students. Go through this again. Take the snapshot of this. Go through this again carefully. In examination, you should not get confused and end up with the wrong answer. Is that clear? It is an easy problem to solve. Now, if you remember, I told in the previous slide, I told that these distances has some properties associated with that, right? So now, since I have calculated one of the distance, that is Hamming distance or Manhattan distance, I've calculated here. First, let us see what is those properties that is associated with the Minkowski distance that we had, so that further calculations becomes easy. So in the next slide, we are going to understand what we are going to see what are the properties that each of the Minkowski distance consists of. There are three properties, as you can see here. One is positivity, second one is symmetry, and third one is triangle inequality. So what is this positivity? Distance positivity tells here us distance between any two attributes you take, it will be greater than 0 if the attributes are two different attributes, that is x and y are different. Say consider x is p1 and y is p2. So when I find distance between p1 and p2, it will be greater than 0 if x is not equal to y. What happens if x is equal to y? We will have 0, which means in the previous example, I had considered distance between P1, P1, P2, P2, P3, P3, P4, P4. That is what is your positivity is. When I said symmetry, distance of x comma y is equals to distance of y comma x. That is what symmetry. So now say consider this is the distance table that we have considered as earlier, which is having 4 points here, P1, P2, P3, P4. Now, when I say positivity, this particular value here, d of x comma x, which is nothing but the principal diagonal values in this particular table, that is P1, P1, P2, P2, P3, P3, P4, P4. This value is always 0. You need not calculate this. You can directly make it as 0, but you have to write one sentence, that is d of x comma x is equal to 0. You have to write that. That's all. So since that in the Hamming distance, that the example that I considered in the previous slide, since that was the first example we had considered, I had calculated all the values. But in actual, it is not necessary for us to calculate all the values. That is because of these properties. Every Minkowski distance, that is every variation of the Minkowski distance, whether it is a Hamming distance or a Euclidean distance or supremum distance, your principal diagonal values will always be 0. That is because of the positivity nature. Clear? And then second point, which tells that the second property, which tells that symmetry. What is now symmetry? That is values on either side of the principal diagonal are symmetry to each other. They're symmetric, which means this value, the values here will be equal to the values present here. So in the previous example, if you see, we had 4, 4, 6, 2, 4, 2, and you can see here same values we have got on this side also, right? So this is what is symmetry, which means you calculate one side values on the one side and the same values can be written on the other side also. That is what is symmetric. They overlap with each other. When I fold it at the principal diagonal, they overlap with each other. When I fold it at principal diagonal, the values overlap with each other. So this is what is symmetric property. Hence, now onwards, when you find the distances, when you were asked to find the distances, you either you find it for one side of it and the other side you can directly write the values because of the symmetric nature of the Minkowski distance, right? The next one is triangle inequality. So well, let us take one example and see whether this triangle inequality satisfies here or not. So I can tell that distance, if I say consider here x comma y, distance of x comma y is less than or equal to distance of x comma k plus distance of k comma y. So for example, I have taken here considered as distance of p1 comma p3 is less than or equal to distance of p1 comma p2 plus p2 comma p3. So can you verify that and tell me whether it is satisfying or not? Calculate it from the table, calculate it. P1, P3, distance between P1, P3 is what? P1, P3 is 4. It should be less than or equal to distance between P1, P2 plus distance between P2, P3. Is it satisfying? So you are on the right hand side, you are getting 6. The left hand side value is 4. So 4 is less than 6. Yes, it is satisfying, right? So this is what is triangle inequality. You consider any of the point like this, the triangle inequality holds good in this case. So these are the three properties that every Minkowski distance formula will hold good. Is it clear? Positivity, symmetry, and triangle inequality. So having learned this, now we go for the next distance, that is L2, which is Euclidean distance, right? So consider the data set as it is. So the original point that I've considered for the Euclidean distance, the formula is in place of R, you will have 2. In place of R, you will put 2, which is nothing but xk minus yk square whole power 1 by 2. So what is this whole power 1 by 2? It is nothing but square root, right? It is nothing but square root. So I'm going to calculate now, as I told, after learning the properties, is it necessary for me to show what is P1, P1, P2, P2, P3, P3, P4, P4? No, right? We can directly write it as 0. That is because by default, distance between Pi, Pi will be equal to 0. So straight away, I will put 0 for the principal diagonal values. Hope this is understood why I have put 0 for the principal diagonal values, because distance between the same points is always 0. There's no distance among the same point. Okay. So this is one of the property. In actual, with the common sense itself, it is 0. But since we have a property, we will mention that property. That's all. This is the positivity property of Minkowski distance. That is always principal diagonal value will be equal to 0. Next, we will find one side of the principal diagonal. That is, we find P1, P2, P1, P3, P1, P4, then P2, P3, P2, P4, and P3, P4. And then we can put that on the other side also, right? So let's begin. First, I'll consider P1, P2. So what is the formula, or how the formula goes here? Here, the table that I'm going to consider is P1, P1 value is 0, 2, P2 value is 2, 0. So as I told, P1 will be my xk and P2 will be my yk. So it is nothing but square root of 0 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 0 whole square, which is nothing but 2.8. So have you understood why this is square root? Because I have whole power 1 by 2. So this is in the exponential form. I have converted into the normal form. That's all. So square root, when I represent the square root in the exponential form, I'll write this as whole power 1 by 2. Correct? Yes or no? Right? Yes. Now, this is how you find P1 between P1 and P2. It is xk, which is 0 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 0 whole square. So when I say P1 comma P2 is 2.8, obviously because of the symmetric property, P2 comma P1 will also be equal to 2.8. So when I tabulate 2.8, I can write it on the either side of the principal diagonal. P1 P2 is 2.8. P2 P1 is also 2.8. Now let us find P1, P3. So what will be P1, P3? So P1, P3 will be, so table for that is 0, 2, 3, 1. So it will be square root of 0 minus 3 whole square plus 2 minus 1 whole square, which is nothing but 3.2. So when I say 3.2, it is, I can write it as here as well as here on either side of the principal diagonal. As 3.16, I have rounded it off to 3.2, right? Then now I am going to find between P1, P4. So between P1, P4, what it will be? The table is 0 to 5, 1. So it will be square root of 0 minus 5 whole square plus 2 minus 1 whole square. So which is nothing but 5.1. So 5.1, I will tabulate that 5.1 on either side. Clear? So next, I'm going to consider the first row is done. I'm going to take the second row now. So in the second row, what happens? I'm going to consider P2, P3. So I'm going to consider P2, P3. So P2, P3 is what? P2 value is 2, 0. P3 value is 3, 1. So it is square root of 2 minus 3 whole square plus 0 minus 1 whole square, which is equals to 1.4. So I'll tabulate 1.4. Next, I'm going to consider P2, P4. So P2, P4 value is 2051. So it is nothing but square root of 2 2 minus 5 whole square plus 0 minus 1 whole square, which is nothing but 3.2 again. So I've tabulated it. Now I have to find only distance between 3 and 4. So distance between 3, 4 is square root of 3 minus 5 the whole square plus 1 minus 1 the whole square, which is nothing but 2. So I've tabulated 2 here. So this is what is your Euclidean distance. So for Euclidean distance, it is nothing but square root of xk minus yk the whole square, right? Summation of k is equals to 1 to 2. Here I've taken 1 to 2 because I am having two attributes. Fine. So this is the Euclidean distance that we have. Students, kindly take the screenshot of this. Is this understood how to find the Euclidean distance? This is also easy, right? Have you understood? Okay. Now let us move on with the supremum distance. How to find the supremum distance? So for the supremum distance, again I'll consider the same data set. So the formula is max of k equal to 1 to 2 xk minus yk, the absolute value of xk minus yk. There's a table in which I'm going to tabulate the values. So again, is there any necessity for us to calculate the distance between P1, P1, P2, P2, P3, P3, P4, P4? No. By default, Pi, Pi is 0. So I'm going to assign it with 0 directly. Okay. Now first I'll consider P1, P2. Now I'll consider P1, P2. So P1, P2 is nothing but xk, yk values are 0 to 2, 0. So it is nothing but maximum of 0 minus 2 comma 2 minus 0. Maximum of 0 minus 2 comma 2 minus 0, absolute value. So here 2 comma 2 is what I get. Maximum of 2 comma 2 is 2 only. So I'll tabulate 2. Next I'll consider P1, P3. So the values for P1, P3 are 0 to 3, 3, 1. So what will be the formula? Maximum of 0 minus 3 comma 2 minus 1. So 0 minus 3 is 3, absolute value is 3. 2 minus 1, absolute value is 1. Maximum of 3 comma 1 is 3. So I'm going to tabulate 3 here. And then now I'll consider P1 between P1 and P4. So the values x1 values are 0 2, y1 values are 5 1, y values are 5 1. The maximum of 0 minus 5 comma 2 minus 1. So 0 here 5 and 1, between 5 and 1, which is maximum 5. So I'm considered it as 5. I'll tabulate the value here. Next I'm going to consider between P2 and P3. So here P2 value we are having 2 0 and the P3 value is 3 1. So you are going to find the maximum of 2 minus 3 comma 0 minus 1, where 2 minus 3 is 1, 0 minus 1 is also 1. So maximum of 1 and 1 is what? 1 only. So I'll consider it as 1. Okay. Then I'm going to find the distance between P2 and P4. So here P2, P4 value is 2051. Maximum of 2 minus 5, 0 minus 1, which is 3 comma 1. So maximum is 3. I'm going to tabulate 3. And then lastly, I have distance between 3 and 4. So the value is 3 1 and 5 1 is what I consider. 3 minus 5, 1 minus 1. 3 minus 5 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 2 comma 0 maximum is 2. So this is how you find the supremum distance. And to find the supremum distance, you will just take the absolute value of the attribute values and then take maximum out of it. Clear? So this is your supremum distance, or it is also called as L infinity. Students, kindly take the snapshot of this. And once the session ends today, kindly make sure that you will solve this problem again so that it will be very clear for you as to which value you have to consider with respect to xk and yk. Don't get confused with xk and yk as your coordinates value. It is not. Xk is the attribute x. X is the attribute, y is also attribute here. For our example, what we have considered, points becomes the attributes. Points become the attributes and the coordinate values becomes the data values or the data objects of the respective attribute. So this you have to keep in mind. Is it clear, students? So thank you, students. If you have any doubts or queries or for feedback, you can write back to me. Thank you.